Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing well. We're going to talk about something that's in the news a lot lately, and that is the Las Vegas real estate market. And everyone thinks, or at least a lot of people think, that they're all out of the clear, that the real estate market is taking off again. The median sales price of homes have jumped, and I'm going to show you here, using a couple of explanations from some news stories, that is actually not the case. This is a head fake. The exact same thing happened in 2007, and it's interesting because I was talking with a buddy of mine who's a social media influencer, lives here in Las Vegas, who wants to buy a house, and the house he's living in right now is actually under foreclosure. Now, it's an expensive house, a large house, like I think it's over 10,000 square feet. But my point being is it's in foreclosure for a reason. The person that bought it can no longer pay the payments. All right, so now let's do this as we try and stay away from music because YouTube will freak out and all those, I don't know what they're called, whatever. First, I want to say the story out of Fox 5 Vegas. It's a report that shows that Las Vegas is in the top 10 cities in added credit card debt last year. Why would we need that? People in Las Vegas are becoming more and more indebted. Now, another thing that's really interesting is that real estate agents are talking about how demand is outstripping supply. It's just outpacing it. There's more demand this year for real estate in Vegas than there was last year. Now, I want to remind you that 2023 was a pretty abysmal year for real estate in this city of Las Vegas. It actually wasn't, it was as bad. We hadn't seen a year with less real estate sales and falling prices since 2008. Now, another thing that's really interesting about Las Vegas, it's a great place to research or study as far as the health of the real estate market nationwide. The reason why I say that is because Las Vegas had the biggest boom in building in the run-up of the 2008 housing crisis. It was absolutely massive. To say that everything in this city is done big is an understatement. So it's good to watch those cycles when you see the really big cities that are exploding in size fall. You can sort of measure what's going to happen in other parts of the country. Now with Vegas, another thing that's really interesting is it's one of those cities that keeps building. And I'm honestly, I believe they don't think that much about the water. Even though the water situation is in the news all the time, they just keep building and building and building. Now, let's move to this story, which I find very interesting. This is a local news story. It's out of ktnv.com. It says, real estate outlook in Las Vegas Valley, 2008 reminders and all-time records. It says, locals and transplants alike have seen the shifts in both home buying opportunities and prices across the Las Vegas Valley. And a new report is showing us the numbers behind the market, including one harking back to the 2008 crash. It says, since the post-pandemic boom took off, peaks and slumps have undercut an overall steady price increase for buying in the valley. That's absolutely not true. In 2023, home prices in Las Vegas absolutely plummeted. But right now, everyone keeps touting these Q1 numbers in Vegas, the housing numbers, and I've got to tell you, it blows me away that people don't understand this, but in Q1 and part of Q2 numbers everywhere around the country, they're always doing well. If you go back and look at the Federal Reserve charts on seasonality for seasonal home sales, spring and summer months are always the best, and then they fall off of a cliff. It says, notably, there is a growing difference between the single-family home market and that of condos and townhouses in our area. Overall demand continues to outpace the supply of homes here in Southern Nevada, and that's driving up prices, says LVR President Mary Perry. Mortgage rates have been slowing down sales this year, so it's good to see more homes and condos selling, Perry continued. So let's talk about that. What is different right now that we didn't really see in 2003? Well, first off, rates came off a little bit, but there's a lot of points added to new home mortgages. On top of that, we now have the buy now, pay later sort of scheme where there are companies that are putting essentially a silent second mortgage on the homes and saying, hey, look, it's interest-free, payment free until you sell the house. On top of that, you have government programs coming out saying, hey, we're gonna make sure that it's as easy as possible. As a matter of fact, if you've got bad credit, we're not even gonna fine you for that. Just get into the house. Now, something interesting about this is you're going to see a lot of people get in and instantaneously lose value, because the next couple quarters coming up, quarter 3 and quarter 4 of 2024, you're gonna see they're gonna be abysmal. But here, the story keeps going, it gets better. While the median home price for single family homes, which was $469,000, had increased 9.1% compared to last year. So everyone's gonna cheer that number, right? That's an insane price increase. 9.1% increase in home prices since last year, right? Okay, now stick with me here. The number remained below an all-time peak of 482 back in May of 2022. Now, if you remember, a lot of people threw a bunch of hate when in the end of June, beginning of July of 2022, I did a handful of videos saying the top of the real estate market is in. It's over, right? The top is in, and you're going to see that top, that date, stick. As a matter of fact, you've even seen on this channel where I was reporting that the Federal Reserve charts had shown that nationally, median and average home sales were already down 8.5%. We did a bunch of videos, and then the actual Federal Reserve national home prices are down around 4%, right? But I want to understand that they're doing everything they can to produce this head fake that keeps consumer confidence until the election. If they can get you believing everything's going well in the economy, you're more likely to spend than to save, and they don't want people saving. So right there, it shows that still they have not even compared to the price peak in Las Vegas housing prices that it peaked in May of 2022, okay? And what you're seeing right now is news articles touting this 10% rise, when in all reality, all it did was it went up seasonally. This is what normally happens. Demand blows up. And what you're also seeing is construction projects, new builds in Vegas, they're having a hard time selling. If you listen, let's do this. Type 1 if there are any real estate agents from Las Vegas in here. And then I want you to tell them what's going on with new home sales in Las Vegas. And this is what I want to know. If there are any home sellers, new home developments that are offering a rate buy down, a additional free upgrades, like giving people $10,000 or $50,000 in upgrades, then that shows that they cannot sell homes. Another identifiable marker in a housing market is when the new home sales homes are there. You go to the office and they say, hey, here's our list of homes that are immediately ready for delivery. That is a sign that they cannot sell homes. They were not able to secure a buyer for those new construction builds anytime during the slab, the foundation, the framing, the roofing, any of those phases. And the house is now done and it's ready for immediate delivery. That shows you that the housing market is waning. Okay, so you can't get deceived by 1 quarter of stellar sales, because a lot of people, and again, there's got to be some seller concessions involved. That's why my buddy is wanting to buy this large house in Las Vegas that is in foreclosure right now. It's in active litigation, trying to seize this home. The loan, the company or the person that made the loan is actually trying to seize it. It's because the market is not good. People can't pay their bills. Now it says here, prices for condos and townhomes hit a new record in April, with the median price of $290, breaking the previous record of $287. So let me explain that. See, during a housing crisis, when people don't have money, people that don't see the signs of the times, that can't help themselves, like, I gotta buy now, I'm FOMOing in, they resort to the lower priced homes. This would be condominiums and townhomes. And so it would make sense, and especially when inventory is near record lows, that these would see a price jump, because, like we're saying right here, the peak for single family homes in Las Vegas, 482,000. The peak for condos and townhomes, 290. That's a much different price range, right? So for people that are priced out of the single family home market, they're gonna go and buy townhouses, condominiums, things like that. because that's what they can afford, okay? But again, the condo market, and I've talked about this in the cycles course, is the first market to really turn over. Why? Because as it finds its last little peak, and it doesn't have to be Las Vegas, it could be any city in the country. People rush into the cheaper places, the newer condos, the older condos, townhomes, things like that. Those find a really fast little dip, and people panic out of those. I was a part of that when I put a $10,000 deposit on a luxury condominium unit in Lake Havasu, and I ended up walking away in mid-2006 because I'm like, I'm gonna lose way more than $10,000. And I learned a massive, very valuable lesson that I wanna share that with you because that's a great indicator. So like Las Vegas here is a killer indicator for the health or weakness of a real estate market. Condos and townhomes are the same for the overall market in any jurisdiction. Again, it all comes down to demand versus supply. We have record low supply. This summer, the government's gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat by allowing second mortgages. That's already finished. Freddie Mac has already started a program and they've got a lot of money that they're able to go out and buy up seconds. So in the next like 3 or 4 weeks, now that it's over and they've got the money allocated, you're gonna see banks, you're gonna go to your local bank and you're gonna see massive advertisements for, hey, pull a second, do debt consolidation, pay off your car, save hundreds of dollars a month, because they want you to tap into your home value, your equity, and they want you to pay that credit card off, because then they know about 3 or 4 months later, the government's be able to tout, hey, look, the economy's strong. Everyone all of a sudden paid off their credit card bills. And that's not the case. They transferred one debt to another. And that's what people need to understand. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going under this massive sign and it's loud. So I hope you got something out of this. If you did, type 2. I'd appreciate it, because it tells me if you understand what I'm talking about, this is very, very logical. But in real estate, most real estate transactions are very emotional. And that's the difference of making a lot of money or losing a lot of money. So I think if you're waiting to buy right now, I think it's an excellent thing to do, because it's only going to get better. Again, I want to remind you, the only thing propping up little markets around the country are second mortgages, 0% down or low down payment mortgages, people with poor credit that now all of a sudden are allowed to tap into a market that they shouldn't be in because they're gonna fail. And again, inflation is not going away. So, and I don't care what the government says, they're straight up lying to you about the numbers. So in a city where sin sells, wouldn't it make sense that you're not getting the truth about the real estate market? Type 3 if you agree with that. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.